Welcome to our exclusive series, 7 Essential WordPress Hacks, where you take your blog from good to great in just a few easy steps. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you're hacking away at a document, you've written about 4 or 5 pages, and then suddenly something mysterious happens, something terrible, the blue screen of death, who knows? But the bottom line is, you lose your document, you lose all the changes that you made, and suddenly you're out 1, 2, 3 hours of work. Or worse. And then, of course, you're just kicking yourself for not saving your work sooner so you didn't lose all those changes. Now, it's bad enough when something like this happens to a Word document, but can you imagine if this happened to your entire blog? If you lost everything? Believe it or not, this type of horrible circumstance does happen, and I just want to make sure you're not going to be the next victim. So, without further ado, let's look at how we can prevent this situation by utilizing our 7th essential WordPress hack, the WordPress Database Backup plugin. Alright, by now you guys are all familiar with this process. The first thing we're going to do is activate the plugin. Now, in this case, we don't actually have to download it because it comes pre-installed with WordPress 2.0 or higher. So all you have to do is go to the Plugins tab, locate the WordPress Database Backup, and activate the plugin. Once it's activated, head on over to the Manage tab, and now in your sub-navigation menu, you'll notice a new tab called Backup. Once the page loads, you're either going to be greeted with these 2 warning messages, or everything's going to look just fine. If you're one of the lucky folks who doesn't see the warning messages, then just continue on and everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. But if you're unsure of what to do, I'll cover the rest of it at the end of the video. Now, for those of you who do see these warning messages, let's take a closer look at what's really going on here. The first message tells us that your WP content directory is not writable. Sounds like a server permissions issue to me. So in order to get the plugin to work, we're going to need to take a ride on over to our FTP client. And once there, we want to make our way over to our root WordPress directory. Once you're inside that directory, you'll notice a folder called WP Content, and that's our perpetrator. What we want to do is change the file permissions on that folder to allow it to be writable by the server. And in order to do that, we'll need to change the permissions from their current state, which is likely 755, to 777. Once we're done with that, just click OK. And now, let's head back over to our site and see if it worked. You should find yourself in your WordPress administration panel on the Backup tab, and all you'll need to do is hit refresh. If you've changed your permissions properly, then the warning messages will be gone and you'll be ready to rock and roll. And now we're almost done. All you need to do is scroll down the backup page a bit, locate your backup options. Now in this case you actually have 3 options. You can choose to save the backup file to the server, you can download it to your computer, or you can have the backup file emailed to whatever address you specify. Personally, I don't see much value in saving it to the server, because the whole point of this is what if your server crashes one day, or what if you lose your database. So with that in mind, I'd rather achieve an extra degree of separation here, and I really prefer just to download the file directly to my computer. So I'll select that option, and then go over here to the backup button. WordPress is telling me that it's doing the backup right now. It has a progress indicator, and when it's done, it's going to let me download the file. All I need to do now is click OK to save it to disk. And bingo, there it is. I've got my backup file. And now, with the backup file safely on your computer, you can take additional security measures like burning that file to a CD, putting it on a flash drive, storing it on network drives, or you can do whatever you want with it. The bottom line is, you now have your blog's database in portable format, instead of having this thing just sitting out there on a server where you can't really do a whole lot with it. That kind of flexibility, coupled with the peace of mind that this plugin offers, are exactly why this is our 7th essential WordPress hack.